Hi, I'm Maurice Jones, President of Graceland Ministries. Today, in part one of our series on William Lane Craig, we're going to take a look at a video clip whereby he responds to Hugh Ross's view of God's own dimension of time. Now, in this first part of the video, we're simply going to play the video, and then I'm going to point out three unbiblical beliefs that Dr. Craig always uses when he's trying to talk about God, creation, and time.
I recently did an interview with Dr. Hugh Ross, and we spoke a little bit about God and time. And the idea that I got from Dr. Ross was that God potentially has his own dimensions of time. And I seem to get from you that you think that time is solely created by God, that it didn't exist causally prior to the universe. If, this is difficult to put into words, if God existed prior to time, how could he be relational with himself if there's no time to him to have a relationship? Or does God have his own unique time that's not linear forwardly speaking, but there's multiple dimensions, forwards and backwards, sideways in time? I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that Hugh is still pushing this line because he has been criticized for this view in my book, Time and Eternity.
All right. J.P.
Moreland and I sat down with Hugh at Talbot School of Theology and laid out for him the difficulties of this viewpoint of God's extra dimensionality. And in that interview with us, he said candidly that he's just using these expressions metaphorically to appeal to physical scientists. But in fact, what he really means in a literal philosophical sense is that God is timeless, that God transcends time. And I think it's better to be straightforward with people and to tell them what you actually think. And my view would be that God existing alone without the universe, not temporally prior to creation, because time begins at the moment of creation, but God without creation, I would say that God is simply timeless. That is to say, unchanging. There is no before and after, no earlier and later in his existence. And I think the concept of the Trinity can really help us to make sense of the timelessness of God. Because what the Trinity tells us is that God is not an isolated individual existing in a lonely, solitary state. Rather, God is a trinity of three persons with a full interpenetration or sharing of love, knowledge, and will. And that is a changeless interpenetration of these three persons with each other in terms of that fellowship of love, knowledge, and will that does not require time. Just as we sometimes speak of two lovers who just sit staring into each other's eyes as lost in that timeless moment, I think God literally is in such a timeless state of fellowship among the Trinitarian persons that involves no change or transition, no earlier or later, before and after, but is a timeless, full sharing or interpenetration of knowledge, love, and will among the three persons of the Trinity. A very rich concept. And the marvel of creation is that God would condescend to create a world of finite persons and invite these persons into that inter-Trinitarian fellowship as adopted sons and daughters of God.
Okay, so we have taken a look at Dr. Craig's response back to, I shouldn't say response back to, but how Dr. Craig maintains that he has a view, and he explained to Dr. Ross that his view is, it has too many philosophical difficulties, but his viewpoint, it's kosher. So the thing is, we have to look at now is this whole idea about God being timeless sans creation and God being temporal with creation. Is this something that Dr. Craig, finds in the Bible? Can you read the Word of God and find this? Does the Bible, back up this claim? Okay, and the answer to that question is no. There's nothing in the Bible that suggests that God is timeless, sans creation, and God is temporal with creation. Now, the Bible does talk about God inhabiting eternity. Okay, Isaiah 57:15. The Bible does talk about that. But this whole idea, this philosophy that time is not a part of the divine life, this is something that William Lane Craig gets from three sources that are not biblical, or I should say they're unbiblical. The first one is this. To make this video very short, the first one is this. He has this idea of a Big Bang theory. So everything is built upon the pillar of a theory, which you're not going to find the Word of God talking about any theories. Okay. Number two, 2 Maccabees 7:28. Okay, talks about creatio ex nihilo. Okay, you're not going to find that in the Bible. Psalms 33 and what Peter talks about when God spoke the world into existence is not the same thing as 2 Maccabees 7:28. So we have a theory, one pillar. The second pillar is an apocryphal book. Okay, now the third thing is he has this idea of God creating two orders of angels and men. And we're going to make another video relative to that, okay, as well as another video relative to this idea of his Trinity. But the third thing is, very quickly, is the Fourth Lateran Council, okay, of 1215, that talks about the creation of these two orders. So you have a theory, not in the Bible. You have the Apocrypha, not in the Bible. And you have the teachings of the church, of the Roman Catholic Church, okay, as far back as 1215. These are the three pillars that Dr. Craig uses when he's talking about the idea that God is timeless, sans creation, and God is temporal with creation. So if you're a Bible-believing Christian out there, don't get upset. Don't be afraid. He has no biblical evidence to support this belief. So he makes this claim, and he backs this claim up with those three pillars. Anyway, hey, love you guys. See you guys next time. Hey, don't forget to watch parts 2 and 3. Peace.